Oh yeah, we are back in business. This is Wake 'em Up Wednesday, the only real, legitimate, unscripted, live truth and comedy podcast of its kind. Welcome to another wild, wacky edition of Wake 'em Up Wednesday. Yes. And of course, I am your host, Jake, the Awake, the one and only. And I hope you guys are ready for a terrible show. You guys are going to hate what I have for you tonight. April Fools! We got a wonderful show, and you're going to love what I have for you tonight. Gotcha. Little April Fool's joke for you there. All right, let me go ahead and pull up the watch page, and we're going to get this party started. It's going to be a fun night. We got ourselves a rocket launch to cover. Got some shills to spank. It's going to be a good time. Oh, yeah. We already got a nice crowd. I see almost 200 people already, and we're just getting started. Maybe we can get up to 500-600 people watching live. That'd be awesome. But go ahead right now, before we even get started, hook your boy up with a thumbs up, because this is going to be an awesome show. I got a lot of laughs in store for you guys tonight. That's my plan. Get you to smile, then get you to chuckle, and then get you to freaking belly laugh. Possibly shoot milk out of your nose, fall out of your chair, and then FAFAMARAFAMLO on the floor, right? Gonna roll around fucking laughing your assing off on the floor. All right. With that said, I see Big Money Bob in the chat. Hi, Big Money Bob, giving away some Jake the Awake memberships. I see Rose Bell in the chat. Hi, Rose. Nice to see you. Who else is here? I see Jonna's here. She says, hello, Jake and friends. Hi, Jonna. Glad you're here tonight. Good to see you. All right. Truth Hurts is up in here. We Too Low, Decran 4D, and of course we have some pre-show super chats. Long before the stream even got started, we had some super chats come in. Like 3 hours before the stream even started, we had our first super chat come in, and it was a request that I turned into a video because I had enough time. I quickly made a video. So the first request, first super chat comes in from RY, and he says, Fittest Flat Earther suggests that Elmo secretly plays the role of Grover on Sesame Street. Elmo is pissed and calls him a liar and a phony Christian. All right, so being this request came in 3 hours early, I was able to quickly whip up a video. And so instead of doing a live impression, I'm going to do you one better. This is a world premiere video that I made today to satisfy this super chat. You guys ready? I hope so. All right. So no one has seen this, and it's not a long video. I whipped it up in about, 15 minutes or so. All right, here it is. So this is the world premiere of my Fittest Flat Earther parody video, Elmo is Grover.
When you know that the whole world is scripted, like I do, then you can see right through these puppets. See this guy right here? Looks an awful lot like this guy right here. They're the same puppet. They're shapeshifters. They're vampires. So clearly you can see the symmetry between this puppet right here and this puppet right here, And obviously, in a side-by-side comparison, it's not too hard to tell. These are the same puppet. Now, if you're going to want to see some proof that you can hang your hat on, look no further than right here. This little piece of fur, an exact match for this piece of fur. Proof that Elmo is Grover. They're the same puppet. And of course, this is just for entertainment purposes only. I don't really believe any of this. Or do I?
There you go. World premiere. Elmo is Grover. All right. I thought that, if I whipped up a video, it would be even more funny than me doing a live impression. So there you go. Hopefully you guys dug that. I sure did. I did one take. I whipped that up in like about 15 minutes. All right. So thank you, RY, coming in with the first super chat like 3 hours before the show even started. And it was followed up by another super chat. And these came in so early, I can't even pull them up to show you guys. That's how early these super chats came in. So Doxological Thinker says, can you do Aaron Haywood saying you play the role of Fittest Flat Earther, but then Fittest Flat Earther finds a face mole and proves you are a fallen angel playing Aaron Haywood? All right. As you know, I've been trying to figure out who plays the role of the Fittest Flat Earther. And it turns out it's none other than Jake the Asshole, formerly known as Jake the Awake. I had a good look at his backside, and I found a very distinct mole on his bum. And then I recently got a good look at Fittest Flat Earther's bum, and he had the same mole on his backside. And I ran their pictures of their moles on their bums through a website which compares similarity. And I got a bloody 99.99% match. Is proof Fittest Flat Earther, Jake the Awake, is the same shape-shifting, moldy rolling icon. There you go. Aaron Haywood. Yeah, believe it or not, I looked him up because this super chat came in so early. I looked up Aaron Haywood to see what he's been up to lately. And he actually made a video about the Fittest Flat Earther. I'm not going to show the whole thing, but I know a lot of people probably have no idea who Aaron Haywood is. You have to be like a hardcore live stream watcher of mine to know who these guys are. But basically, there is a Tasmanian guy who thinks that people are shapeshifters, and he's made claims and videos that I am a shapeshifter. And now he's also making the claim that Fittest Flat Earther is a shapeshifter. So believe it or not, this is a brand new video from Aaron Haywood called Fittest Flat Earther is blank, blank, blank.
On YouTube. I've noticed a lot of people over the last few months trying to figure out who this guy is. And I thought to myself, you know what? I don't think they're going to be able to figure it out. So I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited. Nothing. All right, so I'm going to do it myself as per usual. All right, Tyler. Pictured on screen is clearly American motivational speaker Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins. Clearly, Fittest Flat Earther is Tony Robbins. Guys, this is the actual Aaron Haywood channel. This is his actual content. Not even joking. Just want to show you guys. Look, this is Aaron Haywood's official channel. And he likes to turn off the comments on his videos and not show how many likes that he has. So this is all typical. Now, this guy right here has made videos about me claiming that I am a shapeshifter as well. He claims I am also actor John Hamm. He claims I'm also YouTuber Nick Johnson. You know, Nick Johnson, who does the travel videos, shows you what it's like in other states and towns and whatnot. Yeah, so he thinks I'm also Nick Johnson. And he's also said I am a bare knuckle boxer in the UK. So this Tasmanian guy is known as Aaron Haywood. And so if you ever hear anyone asking me to do a Aaron Haywood impression or a shape-shifting bloody Archon guy impression, this is who they're talking about.
I'm going to show you who his wife is here in a moment. So you come across here, this is Tony Robbins. He doesn't need any introduction. You come across to the Fittest Flat Earther channel. Right, he speaks about the 200 fallen angels, shape-shifting public figures, and a whole lot more. I recommend you actually go over and subscribe this channel.
Oh, now he's recommending you go subscribe to him. Oh, what a small world. Aaron Haywood. He's like, Fittest Flat Earther is being played by Tim Robbins. Tony Robbins. And I recommend you should go subscribe to him. Oh, so he's a bloody shapeshifter who's deceiving us, and you're going to go tell us to fucking subscribe to him? What do I tell you? Shills of a feather flock together. You see all of these tard muffins saying this ridiculous shit, all cross-pollinating and promoting each other. Only one guy really calling them out for their bullshit. All right. And RY coming in with a, and thank you, Doxological Thinker, for your super chat with the Aaron Haywood request. RY coming in with a super chat says, Trump makes an appearance on Jack Morgan's show and makes it seem like he only wants to engage with Nestor, not Jack. Toward the end, Trump says, Nestor, how about you come work for me at the White House? Jack, you're fired. Okay, so RY wants me to have Trump make an appearance on Jack Morgan's show. Because that would totally happen, right? All right, let me see what I can do here. Maria. All right, we sound good. So you guys are not going to believe this. It's going to get a little crazy. We're going to get a little out there. Going to get a little wacky. Wow, wow. You're going to want to take a hit, metaphorically speaking. I've got the freaking president of the United States. He's going to come on my show. As you guys know, I make good money. I sell Caddy Daddy t-shirts. Yeah, I'm literally hood rich Ricky now. So I'm able to get the president of the United States to like come on my program. This is crazy. Should I call you Donald or Mr. Trump? Mr. Trump's fine. Look, Jack, I'm going to make this very brief. I don't have much time to spend here. Your show has gotten significantly worse ever since you fired Nestor. And your viewership, quite frankly, let's be honest, your viewership was here. Now your viewership's here. Your viewership is plummeting. You're failing, Jack. Ever since you let Nestor go, your channel, it hasn't been doing so well. I really think you need to get Nestor back. You're going to want to give Nestor a raise. You're going to want to apologize for what you did for firing Nestor. Let me tell you something, Jack. I've fired millions and millions and billions of employees, and it's never easy. Sometimes I enjoy it. Sometimes I don't. But when you fired Nestor, what you really did is you fired the chemistry which made your channel work. And that's why your ratings are down. That's why your viewership's down. So, Jack, if you don't hire back Nestor, I'm going to go ahead and offer him a White House position in my cabinet. In fact, Nestor, if you're watching right now, if Jack doesn't hire you back at double the salary, I'm going to hire you to be part of my White House cabinet. You're going to handle all of our social media accounts, all of our various social media accounts associated to the White House. We would like you to manage the whole thing, the whole shebang. All right. There you go. I think I made that ridiculous request happen, right? That's what RY wanted. There you go. RY coming in with a super chat. Thank you very much. And I would pull up the super chat, but they came in so early that it won't even let me pull it up in StreamYard. But the newer super chats that are coming in, I'm going to get to all of them, and I'll be able to pull those up, and then we'll officially get the show started. Got a good show for you guys tonight. Starting the show with some impressions, like usual. And RY coming in with another super chat says, Richie from Boston suggests that Fittest Flat Earther is possessed by demonic Chinese nanodrones, causing him to fake being a Christian, and he needs 100% organic Bible vape juice to rid him of it. Okay, I see what you want. Let me see if I can make it happen for you.
So this Fittest Flat Earther guy, I see him stepping on a lot of toes. I see him pissing a lot of people off. And I think what's happening is I think Chinese nanodrones have firmly implanted themselves deep within his anus, and he has full-blown Chinese nano AIDS. And this is what's causing him to say such ridiculous things. He's not all there anymore. And that's because the Chinese nanodrones deep within his anus have not only caused full-blown nano AIDS, but what it does is it causes you to have severe brain fog. That's one of the things that happens before you pass away. You get very severe brain fog. You start doing crazy things. You start acting crazy, start lashing out. You start thinking that little fellas like Prince are 6 foot tall David Blaine. You start thinking that Tim Allen is also Chuck Norris. All right, so it's actually very serious. He has a very serious illness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to help the Fittest Flat Earther, and I'm going to offer him 33% off some of my organic Bible vape juice cartridges. As you know, my organic Bible vape juice cartridges are the only known cure for Chinese nano AIDS. You're going to want to use my promo code down below, and that's the only way you're going to rid the Chinese nano drones from your anus. You can like, you can share, you can subscribe, or don't. At any rate, I digress. This is Richie from Boston. I'm out.
There you go. Richie from Boston coming in strong. All right. So those were the first several super chats that came in before the show got started. All right. Big Money Bob sending Jake the Awake gift memberships. Thanks again, Big Money Bob. If any of you guys get a gift membership from a gifted membership from Big Money Bob, thank him for that. All right. Now I can start pulling up the super chats. All right. JP Crucino coming in with a super chat said, hello, Sir Jake. I want to commend you for transparent and hilarious way you handled the recent Shill Anon Blitz. It demonstrates positive leadership instead of empty moral facades and drinking with fallen angels. So tonight I was going to quickly recap what happened with the death threat from Tyler Hansen, aka Fittest Flat Earther. And then I'm going to show another example of him lying, because I don't want people to think that I cherry picked one example of him saying something stupid, because let's be honest, everybody says something stupid from time to time. So I'm going to show you that he purposely says a lot of stupid stuff. I'm going to prove that he's purposely muddying the waters of truth, and we'll see if he sends another death threat. We'll see how he handles me roasting him again tonight. But that's not all we're going to talk about. We're not going to spend the entire stream talking about that shill. We're going to be busting the Artemis 2 rocket launch tonight. And if you guys have been watching for a while, this is not my first rodeo or your first rodeo breaking down a fake rocket launch. So stay tuned. We got ourselves a fake space mission back to the moon. They're going back to the moon, you guys. We're going to break that down tonight. So it's going to be a good show. All right. Thank you, JP Crucino, for the super chat, brother. Very generous of you. I really appreciate it. Decran4D says Trump apologizing to Jake just before the liftoff of Artemis 2 because Fittest Flat Earther was not man enough to. Apologizing to Jake before the... So I want to personally apologize to the one and only Jake the Awake. He got a death threat from a very crazy individual known as the Fittest Flat Earther. Let me tell you something. He's not the fittest. What he is he's the craziest. He's the insanest Flat Earther. Now, what I'd like to do is go ahead and apologize on behalf of the Fittest Flat Earther. Now, he does work on behalf of us. He is a government agent, but I'm not satisfied with his work. So I am hereby going to fire the Fittest Flat Earther here and now. Fittest Flat Earther, you're fired. Jake the Awake, I deeply apologize for the death threat that was sent out by one of our agents. He no longer works for us. He's probably going to have to go get a job at McDonald's or something. In fact, McDonald's is too good for this guy. They probably won't hire him. So you might see him homeless out on the streets very soon. There you go. That's how that goes. Thank you, Decran4D, for the comedic request. Anyone who's new here, I do comedic requests live. I perform these impressions live, off the cuff, on the spot. And so I make all this shit up off the top of my head, except for the very first super chat. That one came in 3 hours early, so I had a chance to actually make a video. But all the rest of them, I'm doing right here live on the spot for you guys. This is what separates me from everyone else. But it ain't just all clowning around for you guys. I got a serious show for you. It's going to be serious and funny. It's going to be seriously funny. RY coming in with another super chat. Holy cow. This is like your fourth or fifth super chat already. He says, Fittest Flat Earther apologizes to his audience for starting a war with Elmo. He blames alcohol, talks about Jesus, and brags about changing Big Bird's tire and giving Oscar the Grouch a McDonald's gift card. Holy crap. So I just want to give my sincere apology. Now, I had some family over, and I haven't seen them in a long time. So we partook in some alcoholic beverages, and I had possibly one too many. And it caused me to lash out at a puppet known as Elmo. And I said some things that I wish I wouldn't. I thought that maybe he was the shapeshifter and that he played the role also of Grover. And I want to apologize for getting drunk. But one thing that I just did do, I was able to change Big Bird's tire. You can see the grease on my hand from changing Big Bird's tire. Big Bird got a flat tire on Sesame Street, and you guys can see the large grease stain, but I don't mind. I'm a man of God. I believe that Heavenly Father is guiding me, and so that's why I do good deeds like changing Big Bird's tire. At any rate, I hope you guys can accept my apology. It's the last time that'll ever happen, and I'll probably never drink alcohol again. I'm that embarrassed. So I'm going to go ahead and send out a McDonald's gift card to Elmo and offer my deepest apologies. And I want you guys to know, from now on, this is helping to make me a better person, and I'm going to be a bigger, better man because of all this. So I want to thank you all for helping me to apologize to you on behalf of the Heavenly Father. There you go. Still trying to get his cadence down. He's got like kind of a regular voice. There's nothing too unique about his voice or the way he speaks. So it's kind of hard to latch on to like, his tone when it's just very basic and regular. But the shit that he says is pretty outlandish. So You'll know who it is I'm impersonating. All right. There you go. Big Bird. Changing some Big Bird tire. All right. Lemming in a shiny metal box coming in with a very generous donation. Says, what if Fittest Flat Earther had the same vocal qualities as Bobcat Goldthwait? I just want to point out Elmo is also playing the role of Grover, and I just think it's pretty interesting. Grover's got a piece of fur. It matches his piece of fur. I think Grover is Elmo. So I haven't watched Bobcat in so long. I was trying to think of how he sounds. Probably not the best Bobcat impression. I'm like, how am I going to pull this off? I guess I'm going to have Bobcat say some shit that Fittest Flat Earther would say. All right. Probably not one of my top impressions of the night, but it'll have to do. Either way, thank you for the super generous super chat, Lemming in a shiny metal box. All right. All right. Starting the show pretty silly tonight, but that's fine. I'm having fun so far. Hope you guys are too. Doxological Thinker says, leave it to Aaron Haywood. Sometimes the comedy just writes itself. Also, Fittest Flat Earther Elmo video has to be some of your best work yet. All right. Well, just in case anybody who wasn't here earlier missed it, and it's only 1 minute long, I'm going to go ahead and show it again, because I'm sure there's a few hundred people here who didn't see the video that I showed already. Being as it's only 1 minute long, one more time as an encore.
When you know that the whole world is scripted, like I do, then you can see right through these puppets. See this guy right here? Looks an awful lot like this guy right here.
They're the same puppet. They're shapeshifters. They're vampires.
So clearly you can see the symmetry between this puppet right here and this puppet right here. And obviously, in a side-by-side comparison, it's not too hard to tell. These are the same puppet. Now, if you're going to want to see some proof that you can hang your hat on, look no further than right here. This little piece of fur, an exact match for this piece of fur. Proof that Elmo is Grover.
They're the same puppet.
And of course, this is just for entertainment purposes only. I don't really believe any of this.
Or do I?
There you have it. Ah, yes. For anyone who missed it early in the show. All right. Love World Peace Nearing says, I make good money. He fucking said it. Sha. It's true. I make really good money. I used to be a waiter, and I used to make $60K a year. I thought I was Hood Rich Ricky back then. Sha. I'm Hood Rich Ricky now. All right. Not only that, there's a phone number you can call me. Costs $5 a minute. So if you want to say hi, you can call through Connect with me. You can talk to me for $5 a minute. Who wouldn't want to talk to me? I'm Hood Rich Ricky. Take a hit, metaphorically speaking. Yeah, old Jack, I noticed the views are starting to slip. I noticed on his second channel, he's been re-uploading some old shit, and his views are starting to tank. Oh, it's funny when these guys who all they do is just like watch other people's shit and just do the mundane reaction content, right? And then when their channel finally starts to slip and the views start dropping, you start to see the cracks. You start to see them panic, upload more and more and more. And then the videos get worse and worse. All right. I think we got maybe a couple more super chats to get through, and then we can get on with the show. All right. Stormtroop 369369 Says Adam Sandler singing while you play a bass solo. Adam Sandler singing while I play a bass solo, huh? All right. I don't have my bass hooked up right now, but I could probably do like a unplugged little slap thing. Maybe do an Adam Sandler singing thing.
Put on your yarmulke. It's time to celebrate Hanukkah. Put on your yarmulke. It's time to celebrate Hanukkah. Hey, it's a Hanukkah. Love to celebrate Hanukkah. So much funukkah. Wanna celebrate Hanukkah. Drink some alcoholica. Smoke your marijuana. Have a happy, 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 happy Hanukkah.
There you go. Adam Sandler singing one of his Jew songs while slapping the bass. There you go.
Thank you very much. Stop looking at me, swine! Shampoo is better. I go on first and make the hair clean. Nuh-uh, conditioner is better. I make the hair silky and smooth. Nuh-uh, yes, huh? No, really, fool. Stop looking at me, swine.
All right, there you go. There you go. That's as much Adam Sandler as you're going to get tonight. All right. Bob Lines says, do Arnold Schwarzkopf telling Fittest Flat Earther that he will be Jake's personal bodyguard in the event future problems.
I just wanted to personally point out that the Fittest Flat Earther is nothing but a jabroni, and that is why, if I see him, I would tell him that to get down to the chopper, and then I would take him into the chopper, and I would personally make the helicopter crash, and it would take him out and take his life. To get in the chopper, and it's going to go down, get down to the chopper to take him down. It's going to give him a chemical concoction. I'm going to give him a chemical concoction, and he's going to have a severe chemical reaction to the chemical concoction. He's going to get pumped up, but he's going to get too much pumped up, and it's going to cause his head to pop off of his body. That is why I'm going to be the personal bodyguard of Jake the Awake, used to be known as Jake the Asshole, and that is why when I go to California, I used to be the governor of California, and I have the power to make this happen. I'm going to get the chopper, I'm going to take him down to the chemical concoction to get the pumped up, and his head to pop off of his body. Screw your freedom. I'm going to take away the freedom of the Fittest Flat Earther. I'm going to take his freedom, and I'm going to put the screws. I'm going to screw his freedom into the wall.
All right. What? Is that really what's going to happen, Arnold? I doubt any of that's going to actually take place. Sounds like Arnold's talking out of his ass again. All right. I swear we're going to start the show at some point if the super chats stop coming in. But I'm cool with them never ending. If you guys want to send me a never-ending supply of super chats, we'll just have the entire show be this. And then next Wednesday, I'll do the show that I had planned for this week. All right. Kreger says he should apologize to you, not just his ignorant subs, not a man at all. He's a Muppet. So I was going to play his fake apology just in case anyone missed that. So I went over pretty much everything in my last video upload. But just in case anyone didn't watch the whole thing, or in case some people are new and missed it, I will show his fake apology because there's a number of things in the video that make him an absolute twat burger. So we're going to roast his ass tonight for his fake apology. And then I'm going to show you another one of his claims. One of his claims that this person plays the role of this person. And I believe this next video I show you is even more ridiculous than when he claimed Prince is David Blaine. And we'll see how he handles it. We'll see if he sends another death threat or what he wants to do. All right. Sunflower coming in with a super duper generous super chat. She says, Jake for the win. Let's go. Thank you, Sunflower. Super generous super chat from a super awesome subscriber known as Sunflower, who's been a long time watcher and supporter of the channel. Been here many a live stream. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Mwah! Sunflower, super sweet of you. All right. Wow, what a way to start the show, you guys. Holy cow. So much love. RY coming in with another super chat says, Jake, thank you for not only doing an impression of Fittest Flat Earther Elmo request, but going out of your way to make a video on it. You're the best, dude. Oh, well, thank you very much. Since you sent the super chat 3 hours before the stream started, I was thinking in my head like how I want to pull that off. And I thought it would be funnier if I just make a quick video out of it. So, but I didn't want to take too long to make it because I was short on time and I still had to prepare for the stream. So I whipped that together in about 15 minutes. Did one take, edited it real fast. Found some inspirational music to throw on in the background, and voila. All right. Love World Peace Nearing says, Chris Walken telling Jack to get a life. So I noticed there's a guy here on YouTube, calls himself Jack, needs to get a life, needs to find a dog. He's got a cat. Maybe one of the reasons why he's got no life is because he's got a cat. Maybe he needs to get a dog. Everybody knows a dog lets you know what he's happening when he wags his tail. Jack's got a cat. Chris Walken. That was shitty. I haven't watched Chris Walken in a while. If I was to watch Wayne's World 2, I would do a much better Christopher Walken impression. Need to tell Jack to get a life. Sucks. All right. I feel like you deserve a refund for that one. They can't all be winners. There are certain celebrities that like I have to watch a video and be listening to them in order to do the best impression possible. And if I haven't watched them or listened to them in a long time, like years, then the impression I do will suck. And this is one of those occasions. All right. Not a good Christopher Walken. There goes my perfect stream. It makes me feel insecure. Like now I need to go back and binge watch some Christopher Walken clips and come back and prove myself in the next stream to make up for that blunder. Right. All right. Are we caught up on super chats? I believe that was the last super chat. Nope. Got one more. It says, got ya ducker. Got ya fucker. No, you did. Here's the thing. I know I could do a better job if I was to sit and watch them for like 5-10 minutes. I could definitely do a better job. But I did too many other voices tonight already. And I didn't have a good baseline in my head for Chris Walken. And so just didn't happen. That's the thing. That's the thing about doing it live. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. Sometimes I do something better than I ever thought I could do. And then other times I crash and burn. RY wants Russell Brand floating in space talking about Fittest Flat Earther. All right. But then we got to start the show. All right. I finally caught up to the super chats, and now here comes some new super chats.
So I recently was watching here on YouTube one of the craziest people I have ever seen, known as Tyler Hansen, aka the Fittest Flat Earther, and he claimed 5'2" Prince is also playing the role of David Blaine on stilts, and he bloody accomplishes this crazy feat by wearing 10-inch stilts and or
shape-shifting because he's a bloody fallen angel. Now, I just want to ask you an encompassingly, interestingly, underwhelming question. Do you believe in fallen angels? Would a fallen angel also have to wear 10-inch stilts in order to transform and shapeshift into another being? Why would David Blaine ever want to be Prince? And why would Prince ever want to be David Blaine? I can't make heads or tails of this at all. I think that the Fittest Flat Earther is off of his rocker, and I also think that I might have a piece of hay stuck within the crevices of my horse teeth. All right. Whew. There you go. Russell Brand floating, talking about Fittest Flat Earther. Where else are you going to get all that? Holy cow. Whew. All right, I think I covered all the super chats, and we can officially start the show now. Can you guys believe that? All right, and if I missed any super chats, you guys let me know, and I'll go back and get those. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the Fittest Flat Earther. We're going to get through this information as quick as I can, and I'll catch you guys up on what's going on. And then we'll roast this dude on his on one of his latest claims. And then we'll move on to the Artemis 2 rocket launch. All right. So in my latest video, I go over the fact that I roasted this fool, Fittest Flat Earther, for saying that 5'2" Prince is David Blaine. He claims that he accomplishes this by wearing stilts or because he's a fallen angel who can shapeshift. And the same night that I roasted this fool here live for you guys, the same night, which was last Wednesday, he sent me a death threat, which reads, "Hey, Jake, pleasure to meet you. I would just like to formally introduce myself and let you know I will personally end," he puts E.D, but he means end, "your sad, pathetic, jealous, lying little existence in this earth. If I ever come across that little weasel face of yours in person, have a lovely day. Oh, and make sure to always look over your back because I'm everywhere." So he sent that last Wednesday while I was roasting him. And then the very next day, he posted a apology video. And just in case any of you guys missed the apology video, he doesn't actually apologize to me. Instead, he apologizes to his own audience.
Said some stuff in my house for the first time. Family that hasn't seen eye to eye with me for the past 2 years. And it was a joyous time, a time of celebration. And I partook in some alcoholic beverages, which I normally don't do. And at the end of the evening, I flipped on social media and
so he starts this story by claiming that he partook in some alcoholic beverages. Let's make sure to get that on record.
That he didn't mean to say.
There's two things I always try to be: honest and a man of character. And well, recently I failed at one of those, and I'm going to be honest about it. You see, recently I had family to my house for the first time. Family that hasn't seen eye to eye with me for the past 2 years. And it was a joyous time, a time of celebration. And I partook in some alcoholic beverages, which I normally...
He had some family over on this night where I was roasting him for saying that Prince is David Blaine, right? I think he's full of shit. I think he lies on purpose. So I wasn't just cussing at him for no reason. I wasn't just bashing him for no reason. I think he's a liar, and I think he muddies the water of truth when it comes to celebrity replacement theory. The whole subject, he basically takes a diarrhea on the subject with his content. So I was roasting him, and apparently that exact same night, he had family over, and he had been doing a little drinking.
Normally don't do. And at the end of the evening, I flipped on social media, and I came across a video of someone for 4 hours, 4 straight hours, mocking and lying and saying terrible things about me. And while usually I allow the trolls to be background noise and not impact me physically, mentally, or spiritually, the alcohol got me. It got the better of me. And I responded unfavorably. And I fully own it. And I fully admit it. And I'm just being honest about it because I am a man of character. And I am human. And humans make mistakes, especially under the influence of alcohol. It's why it's so evil, and I'll probably never drink again, to be honest. And this is an apology to the person or persons that literally lied and bashed me for 4 hours straight.
So he specifically says this isn't an apology to the person and or persons who bashed me for 4 hours straight. Well, guys, last week we did a 3-hour stream and we didn't bash him the whole time. No. We only talked about him for about a little over an hour because the first half of the stream, we talked about gas prices and gas being cut with too much ethanol and it burning faster. So anyone who was here last week, you guys remember, we talked about gas for like an hour and a half. And then we moved on to talking about this guy for like maybe an hour and 10 minutes or so. So he claims we bashed him for 4 hours. Over exaggerating is a lie, right? If you're going to claim I was bashing you for 4 hours, that's a lie. So this supposed Christian, supposed man of God, in his apology video, literally says, I'm not going to apologize to the person or persons who bashed me for 4 hours. So he isn't apologizing to me, the guy whose life he threatened.
And I am human, and humans make mistakes, especially under the influence of alcohol. It's why it's so evil, and I'll probably never drink again, to be honest. And this is an apology to the person or persons that literally lied and bashed me for 4 hours straight. This is an apology to people who have had my back, people who look to me to be a man of character and to be honest. It's an apology to those I let down, those that look to me for leadership.
So it's an apology to his own audience, but he didn't threaten to kill his own audience. He threatened to kill me. So he specifically isn't apologizing in this video to me, the guy who he threatened to kill, but he's apologizing to his audience. And if we go to the comments section, there's hundreds of his fanboys saying, I accept your apology. It takes a really big man to admit when he's wrong. I love you, Fittest Flat Earther. You're the greatest, most God-fearing man of all time. I want to blow you. Yeah, every comment is like that, except for the few of you guys that went over there and stuck up for me. So there is a handful of comments over there defending me and calling him out. But there's more comments praising him, like he did something wonderful. You got drunk and threatened someone's life and you're going to apologize to us and not him? Thank you. We accept. We love you. So it's like he gets views and gets paid to not apologize to me, but apologize to his audience. And then he fucking, oh, that's not all. In the same video, he changes a lady's tire and he's going to show off that he did a good deed.
To those that look at me to do the right thing in all situations, you're the ones I'm apologizing to. You're the ones I let down. You're the ones I'm sorry to. To those seeking truth, you're the ones I've let down. And I sincerely apologize for it from the bottom of my heart. It wasn't a fake account that wrote what I did. It wasn't them lying. I lied about a lot of other things, but not that.
How come he doesn't show what I lied about? Funny, he won't mention my name and he won't show a clip of what I'm saying and then point out my lie. Hey, Tyler, Fittest Flat Earther, show me lying about you. Prove that I'm lying about you. Show what I'm saying about you. Show my breakdown, how I don't think Prince is David Blaine. And show my breakdown tonight, because I'm going to break down another one of your videos tonight. Show people my video and explain in detail how I'm wrong and what I'm lying about. If you don't do that, then you got nothing. And the reason you haven't done that is because you got nothing.
Like I always do with mistakes I've made or hard times, I'm not going to let it define me. I'm going to learn from it and make me stronger. I'm going to let it fuel me to keep my eyes on the prize and let the background noise be background noise. I'm going to let it fuel me to keep my eyes on the prize. And the prize is helping people see through the lies so they can find their fearlessness through knowing that our Heavenly Father is real.
It's like, this is just going to make me stronger. I'm going to keep my eyes on the prize. And this just turned out to be a wonderful thing. I sent someone a death threat, and I'm not going to apologize to them, but I am going to apologize to my audience. And this just makes me more motivated than ever. Now I'm stronger, and now I'm just going to be a even better man than ever before, all because I did this wonderful thing where I threatened someone's life and then didn't apologize, because that's what Jesus would do. I'm walking the path of the most highest ever, Jesus. Jesus wouldn't apologize, and neither am I.
Right? Gotta love the inspirational music in the background. Like, what person posts this, admits they got drunk, and then fucking has this inspirational music in the background?
And now I'm a stronger, better human being because I threatened someone's life and didn't apologize.
Right? And now next, the best part, he's going to heroically change a lady's tire and then show off the grease on his hand in the same apology video. And his audience is going to eat it up. That's so wonderful that you changed that lady's tire, Tyler.
You're just a spiritual being. Living here is an experience in this meat suit that doesn't define us. It's not, this isn't it. This isn't who we are. It's inside. So I thank the trolls. I thank the liars. I thank the people trying to take me down in the background because you just give me strength and you don't even know. Let it be a learning lesson for us all. We make mistakes, but the question is, can you own them? Can you be honest about them? Can you admit when you're wrong? I was wrong. I'm admitting it. I have no problem doing that. Life has a funny way, and God's a funny guy sometimes. Here I am making this video, and that car's tire blew.
All right, here's the part where he claims he changed a lady's tire in his apology video, and he goes as far as to show us his dirty hand. Anyone who goes that far to show you their dirty hand and claims they just changed a tire in the same video where they're apologizing for being drunk, yeah, not going to buy it. Love World Peace Nearing says, I know you'll deliver, just ducking with you. All right, I'll have to deliver you a better Christopher Walken impression next week. I'll work on Christopher Walken just for you. And I'm not ducking around. All right. And RY just came in with a super chat. He says, Jake, when you have a chance, we need Elmo's response to Fittest Flat Earther's accusation of him being Grover. Elmo calls Fittest Flat Earther a fake Christian. Oh, yeah, you wanted Elmo to respond back. That's right. All right, so we'll finish this video up real quick, and then we'll do the Elmo impression.
And I just helped them change their tire. She was having a rough day already, and, well, I was too. And now we both feel better about humanity.
Oh, how about that, you guys? Just so happens in the video where he doesn't apologize for threatening my life, he changes a lady's tire, and now she feels better, and he does too. Oh, what a great guy.
I have no problem doing that. Life has a funny way, and God's a funny guy sometimes. Here I am making this video, and that car's tire blew. And I just helped them change their tire. She was having a rough day already, and, well, I was too. And now we both feel better about humanity. Have a great day, everybody. Learn from your mistakes. Don't dwell on them.
So he didn't apologize to me in the video at all. Exactly. So much wrong with that apology video. And there's even people who showed up. Jake, he did make an apology video, so you should probably just let it go. I'm like, did you watch it? They're like, yeah, he apologized. like, okay, so you didn't watch it or you didn't pay attention, because he specifically did not apologize to me. He apologized to his own audience. Oh, I can't make this shit up.
Elmo is furious. I can't believe that this son of a bitch thinks that I'm Grover. Elmo can't possibly be Grover because Elmo has red fur. Elmo doesn't have blue fur. Grover has blue fur. Elmo is the one with red fur. So it's absolutely ridiculous and retarded to think that Elmo could ever be Grover. This just proves that Fittest Flat Earther is a fake Christian.
There you go. I think that's about as good as that could ever be. Kreger coming in with a donation says, fellow subs, go to Fittest Flat Earther channel and demand apology to Jake. What an ass this guy is. Oh, you know who else I spotted over there in his comment section? They Live Truth, aka Russian Vids. So Russian Vids is over in that apology video comment section telling Fittest Flat Earther to not apologize. And yes, it is the Russian Vids, the They Live Truth channel, which isn't an actual truth channel. It's a fucking shill channel. So Russian Vids won't show his face, won't give his name, and he's telling Fittest Flat Earther not to apologize to me. And he goes on to basically make a veiled threat of bodily harm as well. So this just goes to show you, shills of a feather flock together. In fact, I even have the comment saved just to show you guys I'm not messing around. I put it in the community section. Here it is. So here is RV Russian Vids in the comment section of Fittest Flat Earther. And he says, brother, do not apologize. That weasel fake Jake started it and you were just going to finish it. He would at bare minimum walk with a permanent limp the rest of his life. No worries. The runt will run his mouth to the wrong person one day, and that will be the end of him. So I took a screenshot and I clicked on it. It is They Live Truth channel. It's not somebody pretending to be him. And that's exactly what he would do. So this just goes to show you, shills of a feather flock together. You always see these guys cross-promoting, cross-pollinating each other. So if RV really was a man of truth, A, he'd show his face. B, he'd give his name. C, how come he isn't calling out Fittest Flat Earther for putting out bullshit information? I don't see Russian Vids, They Live Truth, calling out Fittest Flat Earther for making all these false claims about celebrities playing these other roles that are clearly not true. And so tonight, I'm going to show you another example of Fittest Flat Earther lying. I don't want people to think I've only cherry-picked one example. There's plenty of examples. And so tonight, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys another claim being made by Fittest Flat Earther. And then I'm going to refute the claim. And we're going to see what you guys have to say. But first, one last super chat, and then we'll get into the next video. Dcran4D says, Jake changing a battery in a Tesla for a lady out of nowhere like an RKO. Like an RKO. While streaming the fake rocket launching, while Roseanne screams in the background, you suck. Like an RKO. I'm not sure what you mean by RKO. You're making me think of Randy Orton's finishing move. And I don't think that's what you're talking about. Jake, so you want me to do an impression of myself? Which is going to be like, hi, I'm Jake. I changed a battery in a Tesla for a lady out of nowhere. See the grease on my palm right here? So dirty from me changing that Tesla battery like an RKO. You know, Randy Orton's finishing move, I guess. And I did all of this while streaming a rocket launch here on YouTube. And as all this was going on, guess who was in the background screaming that I suck?
It was me, you son of a bitch! You suck, you fucking commie! Hello to all of the Nephilim and the Anunnaki who are listening right now. Jake fucking sucks! You suck!
I mean, that's what you wanted. I literally did what you asked for. Not sure why you wanted that, but you got what you asked for, sir. All right. Man, I have a weird job. My job is strange. I never knew I was going to be doing this for a living, but I can't complain. It is pretty fun and unique. All right. RY says, Elmo disputes the authenticity of Fittest Flat Earther changing Big Bird's tire and giving Oscar the Grouch a McDonald's gift card.
Elmo does not believe for a second that the fakest flat earther changed Big Bird's tire. In fact, Elmo called Big Bird on the phone and asked Big Bird himself, and Big Bird said he never even heard of Fittest Flat Earther. So that means Tyler Hansen is a liar, and Elmo telling the truth. There's no authenticity whatsoever to the fakest flat earther story about changing Big Bird's tire. Why did Oscar the Grouch a McDonald's gift card?
All right. Holy cow. Drain Masters says, Big Jake, do you have an email? I do. I'll put it in the chat right now. All right, there it is in the chat. All right, I think we're caught up on the super chats. All right. So the next video I'm going to bring up now is a video from the Fittest Flat Earther, and it's short. Thank God. It's a short video, you guys, so won't take long. So this is a video from the Fittest Flat Earther from 2 weeks ago. We'll see what sort of claim he makes in this video.
When you know the whole world is scripted and staged like I do, and you see this guy endorsing Jake Paul, it causes you to pause and think. But I'll be real honest. I didn't have to think long on this one. Not at all, in fact, because none of these characters on the world stage are new or organic. They're all reruns, repeats, replays of a previous character they played. And, well, Jake Paul was an easy one. Jake Paul, like someone else I know, has a really big chin.
Well, it's funny he mentions that because this motherfucker has a gigantic chin, right? Jake Paul, like somebody I know, has a really big chin. Do you know anyone else with a big chin? All right, where's he going with this, you guys? Who does Jake Paul look like? Who's Jake Paul playing the role of secretly?
There aren't too many other people in the world stage with that size chin. And you know who comes to mind? Someone I actually got called a little bit in my youth. You remember this guy, Jay Leno? Couldn't help but notice that they both had that chin.
You guys, this motherfucker right here is going to say that Jake Paul is Jay Leno. Jake, man, you just showed one example of Tyler's videos, and he does good work. He puts out good content. Just because that one video you disagree doesn't mean he's a shill. He's a fucking liar who's lying on purpose. Nobody really believes that Jake Paul is Jay Leno. Nobody believes that for real. So to make this claim and make content about it and trick people into believing such bullshit, I find that deceitful. And what really pisses me off is I talk about celebrities being replaced. So he essentially, as I've pointed out before, is taking a diarrhea dump of disinformation into the subject that I like to talk about. You know, the guy who started the channel, Flat Earth Asshole, talking about how Earth isn't a globe. And now I talk about celebrities have been replaced. Here you got a guy who calls himself Fittest Flat Earther, who makes ridiculous claims that Prince is David Blaine and Jay Leno is Jake Paul.
And those lips looked so similar in that serious stare. Lucy has been on the Tonight Show with Jay. Jake Paul known for now? Oh, that's right, boxing. But what was he known for before that? A whole lot of comedy, right? Comedy sketches, slapstick comedy. Kind of reminds me of this slapstick comedy routine Jay Leno did where he was fighting his mother. Kind of really reminds me of it. But so far, I'm just speculating, right? So they have similar lips and chins and stares, and both have an affinity for jokes and boxing and association with.
All right, have you guys seen any proof that he's shown so far after making that claim that Jay Leno is Jake Paul? Do you guys know how old Jay Leno is listed as? 75. Jay Leno is 75 years old. So he's got the height and the weight pretty close. If you look up their height and weight, he's actually got the height and weight pretty close. They both have a big chin. Okay. But the similarities end there. Now his biggest issue in this claim is that Jay Leno is 75 years old. So now he's going to have to claim that he can magically turn into a guy who's like 45 years younger, right? Concurrent Times says Jay Bowen in chat had a good idea for a Shills of a Feather song. All right, well, check it out. There's so many comments that go flying by while I'm live. When I watch the replay, I read the comments. And so I'll go back and watch the replay and I'll see what he posted. And since you're sending this super chat, now I'll know to look for the comment. So there's so many comments that come in that I can't get to them all and do my show at time. And so I have to just read the super chats. And then when the stream ends, I go back and read all the comments so I can see who was here and who said what. So I will, when the stream ends, check out the idea for the Shills of a Feather song. Speaking of, I do need to make some new music. That's been on my agenda for a while, and I haven't done it. So sometime this year, I need to crank out a new song or something. All right. RY wants Fittest Flat Earther interpreting for Stephen Hawking.
when you know that everything's scripted, then you're able to see through the shenanigans like I am. And here you can clearly hear Stephen talking, telling you that Jay Leno is, of course, Jake Paul. Now, they both have a big chin. And Stephen Hawking, when he was mumbling, he was pointing out how they both have an affinity for boxing. Clearly, you can see big chin, big chin. You know who else has a big chin? Stephen Hawking. So Stephen Hawking says one of the ways he's able to reduce his age when he plays the role of Jake Paul is because he guzzles that drug known as abrenobrome. You know, that drug that rhymes with the word abrenobrome. He drinks that drug and he's able to de-age so that he can play the role of Jake Paul. Now, this might sound shocking, but nothing shocks me when we're talking about fallen angels. So these guys are fallen angels. And so that's why he can appear to be 75 years old while he's Jay Leno. But then he just guzzles some abrenobrome, and then he's able to be Jake Paul. Now, the effects of the abrenobrome wear off, and then he's able to turn back into Jay Leno again. So this is how they can fluctuate between Jay Leno being 75 and Jake Paul being much younger. Fallen angels. Abrenobrome.
There you go. There you go.
You know, Donifer. But do you think there's any actual evidence? Like something you can hang your hat on and say, I know for sure because the dots have been connected for me. Multiple dots. I don't have to wonder or believe. I can know because the dots have been connected. And not just those two. And not just how similar their lips look. But notice that one right there.
Oh, you guys, they have the exact same lips and little freckle on the lip. This is proof that Jay Leno is Jake Paul, shape-shifting fallen angel. That's all the proof I need to see. I'm a believer now, aren't you? I thought that this guy was bullshitting, but now he's won me over. Clearly, that's the same freckle on their lips. So therefore, Jay Leno is Jake Paul. And no, it's not crazy at all. It's just a plain fact.
And you can see it, there's hair there, but there was one right there. Oh, and even another. Right there. And while the picture quality isn't quite as good, you can see in the exact same location, kind of diagonal of the eye. And you know what I always say, right? They bring their wives.
Jay Leno's wife is Jake Paul's wife. The same wife.
With
Look,
them,
you guys.
and you can change the hair color and you can get tanner.
This person is clearly this person. Yes. Exact replicas, these two women. Of course. Jay Leno's wife and Jake Paul's wife. Same person. Totally. Caught him. 100% proof.
Their wives with them, and you can change the hair color and you can get tanner, but it's awfully hard to hide those eyes and those exact lips and those exact chins just because it went so fast.
Guys, he manipulates the fuck out of people with this supposed evidence. If I show you the comments section, oh my God. In fact, I'll show you guys the comments section next. The comments section, like, it makes me sick. How many people will praise this guy and kiss his ass after watching that load of horse shit? Fittest Flat Earther does the deepsters and then connects the dots. How am I going to do this? Fittest Flat Earther does the Deemsters, then connects the dots. So the Heavenly Father is speaking through me right now. And the reason is I had some family over. So I decided to smoke the most psychoactive psychedelic drug ever known. I just took a huge huff of the Deemsters. And now I'm able to see who every celebrity is secretly playing. Some people might wonder how it is that I find all these moles and all these scars, and I'm able to find so many matches. Through the use of this psychedelic compound, I've been able to connect the dots, and I believe that the Heavenly Father sent this drug into my life so that I could bring this truth to you, that Jay Leno is Jake Paul. All right, that was hard. I wasn't sure how I was going to make that happen, but that's got to work. You got to be happy with that. Go ask any other YouTuber to do Fittest Flat Earther smoking the Deemsters, and you see what they come up with. And you tell me if it's any better. I bet you it won't be. Oh, the things I do for you guys. All right. Looks like I had another super chat come in, but doesn't look like this one's a impression request. One from Doxological Thinker says, bro, it's even worse than you think. He has videos on all the presidents being alive and played by people today, even George Washington and his wife. So here's the thing. I didn't want to show 7, 8, 9, 10 of his videos in a row. I wanted to just like one by one, just show how ridiculous this guy is. And so there's plenty of videos left for me to roast him in the future. So I just wanted to start with, like him saying something ridiculous like Princess David Blaine. And now I show you another example where he says Jay Leno is Jake Paul, right? And so here's the thing. On his channel, I've got hundreds of different videos of him that I could refer to and show that he's full of shit. And so this just goes to show you that if he ever runs his mouth or makes any threats, or if he continues doing what he's doing, there is a plethora of content for me to react to and for me to roast him on. So there's no shortage of videos for me to react to from this guy, which prove over and over again he's lying on purpose. So it's not one cherry-picked example of him saying something stupid. There's a ton of examples of him saying stupid shit. And I've only shown 2. So I've only shown now 2 of his videos only. And I'm disagreeing with the notion that David Blaine plays the role of Prince, or that Jake Paul plays the role of Jay Leno, for obvious reasons. And so nobody can say that I'm just bashing him for no reason at all. No, I think he's a liar who's purposely muddying the waters of truth. And on this channel, I call out shills. I call out people who I think are lying on purpose. I call out people I think are agents. I call out scammers. Right? So on this channel, I have done this for years. So if anybody doesn't like the fact that I'm calling out these shills and liars, well, then go get duped by these people for all I care. Because I notice some people like to tell me not to talk about these guys. Jake, don't talk about these shills. Talk about something else. Yeah. That's exactly what a shill protector would say. Jake, don't talk about these guys. Jake, quit exposing these guys. Talk about something else. Yeah. So somebody's got to do this dirty job, and that somebody's me. All right. Oh, yeah, I read that one. Okay. Got one from Johnny Rodriguez, 2300. Said Tyler looks like the cartoon janitor at the end of Carol Burnett and Friends. I'll have to take your word for it. Thank you for the super chat. I have no idea what you're talking about. Carol Burnett and Friends, cartoon janitor, but probably someone else in chat probably knows what you're talking about. So anyone out there who knows what he's talking about, tell this guy, thanks for pointing that out. All right. Moving on. It looks like Kreger just gifted 10 Jake the Awake memberships. Wow. Thank you, Kreger. Very generous of you, buddy. Okay. I think we're all caught up on super chats.
And those lips looked, oh, so similar in that with them. And you can change the hair color and you can get tanner, but it's awfully hard to hide those eyes and those exact lips and those exact chins just because it went so fast. Look at the exact symmetry of all of it. And that lower lip can't hide right there. Same Z's. Of course, all this is for entertainment purposes. I don't really think they're a bunch of fallen angels who transgressed with human wives and now they're stuck in Earth as punishment. And
there you go. All right. Now you guys ready to see the worst part? The comments. Those two women were the same person. Strong work. That blew my mind. That chin gives it away for sure. These fallen angels are stars indeed. Didn't see this one coming. Mind blown again. So crazy, these acting demons. Jennifer sends him a $2 super thanks. Says, your discernment is on fire. I mean, are these real people? Are these sock accounts? Are these bot accounts? I mean, or are these real people actually being duped by this guy and actually praising him? Woo! Yes! Bullseye! Great work, Tyler! You nailed this one! Holy shit, man! You're a godsend! I got quite a bit of nasty messages from some of his followers. Now, I don't know if it's sock accounts and bots or what, but there were quite a bit of nasty creatures that came over and said, you deserve to be threatened by Tyler because of what you said. You bashed him for 4 hours. You deserve to die. Right? So there's people who came over and had his back, you know, tried to tell me that I'm Weasel Jake and that and I need to shut my mouth and quit talking trash about poor Tyler. Leave Tyler alone, right? Had some accounts come over and tell me to leave Tyler alone. RY wants Ass Mongold reacting to Fittest Flat Earther and Elmo video you made. All right. That means I got to pull it back up. This will be the third time tonight I'm showing it, but you know what? It's worth it.
When you know that the whole world is scripted, like I do, then you can see right through these puppets. See this guy right here?
What the fuck? You guys are not going to believe this. This is freaking crazy. You have to see this.
Looks an awful lot like this guy right here.
They're the same puppet. They're shapeshifters. They're vampires.
So clearly you can see the symmetry between this puppet right here and this puppet right here. And obviously, in a second.
Oh my God, you guys. This is freaking crazy. Elmo and Grover are the same person? Same puppet? No fucking way. No fucking way.
Side-by-side comparison, it's not too hard to tell. These are the same puppet. Now, if you're going to want to see some proof that you can hang your hat on, look no further than right here. This little piece of fur, an exact match for this piece of fur.
Oh my fucking God. That's proof. Never thought I would find this out. I don't know what to think anymore.
Proof that Elmo is Grover.
They're the same puppet.
And of course, this is just for entertainment purposes only. I don't really believe any of this.
Or do I?
And this puppet.
What the fuck? What in the actual fuck? There you go. If he posted that, he'd get like 800 million views in 24 hours, right? 800 million views in 24 hours. That's all he's got to do. I'm in the wrong business. I should have got into the react to every single thing business. Seems like a better business. All he's got to do is just wake up and do that to any video that he finds. Just do the, oh my God, can you fucking believe this routine to whatever video he finds, and he gets millions of views. Can you guys imagine that? You just roll out of bed, put on any video and go, what the fuck? I can't believe this. And then you're going to get 2 million views that day just for doing that. Imagine being able to print money on demand just by doing that reaction to any video that you choose. And all you have to do is just do that. And you just print as much money as you'd like. You're just jealous, Jake. Yeah, I am a little bit. I'm a little jealous that motherfucker gets to print money by having those reactions to any video. Seems like something that nobody should be able to deserve to do, right? I don't care how good of a reaction guy you claim to be. You shouldn't be able to just roll out of bed, give the same reaction to fucking any video and get millions of views. That's the opposite of talent, right? People should get tired of that real fast, but they don't. They love it. They can't wait to wake up and see him do that again 5 times a day. All right. Camdy Dynasty or Cam Dynasty. No. You're either Cam Dynasty or Camdy Nasty. Camdy Nasty or Cam Dynasty, one or the other. I really wish they could go back to regular names. These handles suck. All right, he wants me to do an impersonation of Call for an Uprising, saying Bill Gates and the elites are coming to jab everyone in America and imprison us. This is a call for an uprising. Bill Gates' evil plan is nearly complete. Bill Gates is going to jab all of your family members if he hasn't already. Of course, all of your family members probably took the booster, and you're one of the only few people alive watching this who hasn't been jabbed yet. But of course, very soon, Bill Gates is going to own all the land. He's going to own all the food, and he's going to own all the water. And you're probably going to have to submit a vaccine requirement certification very soon in order to work. So basically, it's the end of the world as we know it, and I don't feel fine. But let's go ahead and get to today's video. As you know, the elites are trying to exterminate all of us, and we've almost already been completely exterminated. The population has gone down tremendously, but of course they're lying and saying that the population is going up. This is your call for an uprising. There you go. There you go. Little doom and gloom from your boy. There's always people that go, yeah, but that's true, though. Jake, Bill Gates is trying to jab everyone. No, he's not. Bill Gates is a made-up fucking character so that people believe that there's this one evil, diabolical nerd genius trying to kill everyone. Meanwhile, it's the government that's what we should be worried about, right? The government as a whole running away, right? The runaway government is the problem, not the one diabolical nerd who they stick as a figurehead in front of all these conspiracies, right? So if they get you to point your finger at Bill Gates and believe that the one diabolical nerd is the one trying to do away with us all and conquer the world and whatnot, then they get you to focus your negative energy on the made-up character, the figurehead, rather than the government as a whole. See how that works? That's why you don't see me making videos pointing at Bill Gates and acting like he's some diabolical genius trying to kill us, because it's not true. They can whip out any guy with glasses who kind of looks like Bill Gates and say that that's a diabolical nerd buying up all the land who wants to jab you and your family. So if they get you to pay attention to that guy, now he's the lightning rod for all of your negative attention. Meanwhile, the government behind the scenes is the one doing all the diabolical bad stuff. All right. Brian Young weighs in on Fittest Flat Earther and Elmo.
Hey guys, I just want to point out that there's a huge distraction going on in the truth community. Right now, Tyler Hansen is feuding with Sesame Street puppet Elmo. And this, of course, is to distract you from the Epstein files. Everybody knows that these elite are really running things behind the scenes. And that's why they want you to pay attention to a supposed beef between Elmo and Tyler Hansen, because it's a distraction from the Epstein files.
That's what Brian would say. Stop, Ralph. Stop. According to Brian, all the Epstein stuff is all real, right? That's another way you can see that someone's a shill, as if they act like all the Epstein stuff is real. The Epstein shit that comes from the mainstream media that gets it from the government, and then people repeat that as if that's the real truth.
This is just a distraction from what the pedos did on Epstein's Island.
Okay, Brian, did you hear that on the news? Where did they get that information from? Duh. Anybody still pushing the Epstein shit like it's all truth? That's how you know they're a fucking shill. That's how you know Brian's a damn shill. You know, there were some people, not many, but there was a few people who were like, Jake, I don't like when you feud with other truthers. Can't we all just get along? I like your content and I like Fittest Flat Earther's content. I like both you guys. I heard that probably a handful of times. Not a lot, but there was a handful of people who were like, I like your content and I like Fittest Flat Earther. You guys should just do a live stream and squash this beef. It's like, he's obviously a liar pushing bullshit. My channel's not like his at all. My content isn't like his at all. I don't make fucking TikTok slop pointing at people's scars and freckles on their face and making outlandish claims that this celebrity plays this celebrity. I don't do that. So when people were saying, I like your content, Jake, and I like his content, it's kind of like saying, Jake, I like to eat grass-fed filet mignon cooked perfectly, and I also like to eat Skittles covered in diarrhea. Jake, I like your content, and I like Fittest Flat Earther. I like to eat a grass-fed filet mignon, Jake's content, and I also like to eat a plate full of diarrhea and Skittles mixed together, Fittest Flat Earther's content. I believe that filet mignon and Skittles covered in diarrhea are similar. I like both of those things. Yeah. Comparing my work to that motherfucker's work is like comparing filet mignon, perfectly cooked, to a fucking plate full of Skittles covered in diarrhea. Yeah. Fittest Flat Earther is the goddamn diarrhea, and I'm the motherfucking filet mignon. Do not ever compare the two. But some people did. So yeah, there was a few comments that got me pissed off. You know, the like, Jake, can't we all just get along? Why are you attacking other truthers? Like making me out like I'm a bad guy, stirring up drama with other truthers. He ain't a fucking truther. He's a liar. So anyone I see sticking up for a liar, you make me think that you're purposely trying to give this liar a pass. Purposely hoping I'll move on and talk about something else. Not gonna happen. I'm gonna bust these shills' ass as much as I want to. Forever. Until the end of fucking time. Time's infinity. Nobody's comments are gonna fucking disparage me from continuing to be the shill destroyer. And this is all just for entertainment purposes only. All right. Bold as a lion says Trump admitting that MAGA is the name of the highest degree in the Church of Satan. So here's something that you may not have known, but being a MAGA is one of the highest degrees in the Church of Satan. People might think I am a man of God, a man of Christ. Let me tell you something. I am a man of the underlord, the Lord of the underworld. And of course, some people think I am the Antichrist, and I'm not here to deny that fact. I am the Antichrist. MAGA is the highest degree in the Church of Satan. And all those who join my MAGA cult, I have a special place in hell, which we refer to as heaven. That's right. The real heaven is actually hell. These are the facts. Facts of life. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life. You're fired. All right. There you go. Trump coming clean. That's like the most truth that Trump's told in a while, you guys. All right. I think we still got a rocket launch to get to if I could ever finish reading these super chats. RY wants Jake Bob Lines sent you a chat early. Oh, so it looks like I missed a super chat. All right, my bad. I see it. I see it on my watch page. Let me go back and pull it up real quick. All right. 1 minute, guys. I missed the super chat. Looks like we got a Russell Brand request. Do Russell Brand threatening to sue Fittest Flat Earther for claiming he is Mr. Ed, the talking horse, Mr. Ed show in the 60s. Ed was the name of the talking horse. I remember the show from Nick at Night. It wasn't like a show that I watched, but when I was a little kid, I remember the horse from Nick at Night because I used to watch Nickelodeon when I was little kid. And yes, I know about the supposed terrible stuff that went on with Nickelodeon. All right, so Russell Brand threatening to sue Fittest Flat Earther. So recently, my good name was slandered by a lawyer known as Tyler Hansen, aka the Fittest Flat Earther, and he claimed that I play the role of a horse from the 60s television show, Mr. Ed. And of course, I wasn't even born back when that show was being filmed, so therefore it couldn't possibly be me. But then he said that I am a fallen angel and I'm able to shapeshift between man and horse. This, of course, is not true. Now, I might have a piece of hay stuck within the crevices of my horse teeth, but I, of course, have never and will never play the role of Mr. Ed, nor am I a fallen angel. In fact, these slanderous claims has caused me to lose a lot of viewership on my channel, so I'm going to be officially suing the Fittest Flat Earther, Tyler Hansen, in a court system near you, and I will be taking as much money as I can bloody get out of this bloke. There you go. Russell Brand threatening to sue Fittest Flat Earther. Jake, when I'm alone in my room, sometimes I stare at the wall. I sent email. Please read when you have time. Can't wait for Return of the Doink 2026. Well, sir, since you just sent a super chat and you can't wait until Return of the Doink this fall in September, what I'm going to do for you right now, I'm going to give you a very special springtime edition of Return of the Doink. Even though a ball did not just now hit the pole, I'm going to go ahead and sing you the song anyway. Whoa! Oh, no, no, no. Oh, yeah. Well, I tried to tell you so. Yes, I did, but I guess you didn't know. They be messing with field goals, and there's magnets in the poles. You lied to me. All those field goals I thought were so real. You lied to me. Oh, yes, you did. Yes, you did. You lied to me. All those field goals I thought were so real. You lied to me. And now I cry. Now I cry, cry, cry. Return of the Doink. Here it is. Return of the Doink. Come on. Return of the Doink. And another ball hits the pole. Return of the Doink. Once again, Return of the Doink. Return of the Doink. And another ball hits the pole. Don't you know? All right, there you go. Return of the Doink springtime edition. Going out to Drain Masters. All right. I think we're all caught up on super chats now. But wait, there's more. RY says, Asian lady gang responding to Fittest Flat Earther for threatening Jake the Awake's life. Asian lady gang pissed off at Fittest Flat Earther.
Fittest Flat Earther gonna need to watch over his back because Jake called the Asian lady gang, and Jake, he tell us who he want to kill. And I'm not going to tell you who it is, but he have a big chin. Say a lot of bullshit online. I'm not going to tell who Jake want to die. Jake called. He said, I want you to kill this guy. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but you're going to find out very soon. Fittest Flat Earther, you're going to find out very soon. You no mess with Jake the Awake. Jake the Awake called Asian lady gang. Asian lady gang handle his problem. Nobody do that better than we do that. Asian lady gang. We kill the body, and then we take the body, we dispose of the body. You don't have to get rid of the body. We do better job than the Mexican gang. We do better job than the Spanish gang will do better job than the Filipino gang. Asian lady gang, the best gang. We get rid of the body. You know how to clean up the blood. You know how to bury the body. We get rid of the whole body for you, and there's no way you ever get caught. That Fittest Flat Earther gonna need to watch his back.
There you go. Asian lady gang. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on, shall we? All right, you guys. So apparently we are going back to the moon. And by we, I mean NASA's going to supposedly fake another moon mission. Except this moon mission is a little different than the other moon missions. So we'll go ahead and check out the mainstream news report, see what they have to say, and then we'll watch the official launch together. And away we go. Artemis 2 exposed begins now.
And for the first time in 50 years, NASA is sending humans to the moon. 4 astronauts gearing up for their 10-day, 230,000-mile mission. The Artemis 2 crew is set to launch tomorrow night from Cape Canaveral, weather permitting, of course. And it's a mission that they've been preparing for since 2023. Joining me now is NASA aerospace engineer and deputy program manager for the Orion program for Artemis 2, Debbie Korth. Debbie, so nice to meet you. Thank you for your time this morning.
Yeah, good morning. Glad to be here.
This is a big deal. Obviously, all the conditions have to be perfect for takeoff tomorrow. How favorable are conditions looking this week? Is it all systems go yet?
As of now, all systems are go. We had a good meeting yesterday, went through everything on the spacecraft, no issues that we're working and just watching the weather, but things are looking really good for the launch.
Perfect. How's the crew feeling, the 4 astronauts?
Yeah, I'm sure they're feeling pretty excited. They've been in quarantine for the last week or so. They're here at Kennedy Space Center. We don't get to see them, obviously, but talking to them before they headed out, really excited that this day is finally getting here.
The word quarantine. In a woman and a black guy. Time a woman and a black guy are going to get to go to the moon. Except there's a catch.
How nervous are they before something like, for those of us who aren't astronauts, we don't work at NASA, I can't imagine the nerves before being launched to space. How nervous are they ahead of this mission?
I think that they calm those nerves through just very extensive training. They spent the better part of 3 years learning every system on this spacecraft, how to operate it nominally, what to do if there's off nominal situations, working in simulators and our mock-ups there at the Johnson Space Center, traveling out to Kennedy Space Center and getting actually in the spacecraft they're going to be flying, testing out all their systems, their suits, the interactions. So, I think the nervousness is a little bit calmed down just by their intimate knowledge of the spacecraft and this mission that's ahead of them.
Yeah, and the space suits look so cool too. I've been thinking about them for just days on end. Debbie, if you would just elaborate a little bit more on the mission, because I think a lot of people hear that the astronauts are going to the moon and they just assume that they're doing a lunar landing. But
exactly. A lot of people hear about this and they assume that they're going to be landing on the moon. We assume that they're going to land on the moon, land on the moon, land on the moon, they land on the moon. But that's not what they're going to do. So quit making assumptions, because if you make assumptions, it makes an ass out of you and options.
That is not the case, correct?
That's correct. Right. For Artemis 2, this is called a lunar flyby mission. So we're basically trying to check out some of our new systems that we've put on the Artemis 2 Orion spacecraft. So the astronauts will be spending about 10 days in the spacecraft, and the first 24-hour period of the mission will be testing out the environmental control and life support systems and our propulsion, rendezvous, and prox ops systems to make
it. They're going to fly around the moon and then come back. They ain't even going to land. So they're making a big deal about going somewhere and then turning around and coming back. So they supposedly landed on the moon in 1969 through the early 70s. And then they didn't go back for 60 years or whatever. And now they're finally going back. Oh, but now in 2026, they're just going to fly by. They're going to do a flyby. So they're not actually going to land on the moon. How about that, you guys? And they expect people to get excited about this, even if you believe in space travel, which is ridiculous. But let's say you're a sheeple and you believe in space travel. Even the sheeple aren't going to be impressed with flying by the moon. And they're trying to make it like a big deal, like, this is the first time a woman and a black guy are going to get to be near the moon. Isn't that wonderful? Oh my God, that's so cool. Finally, women and black people get what they deserve. They get to go near the moon. I mean, us stingy white men, we got to walk on the moon back in the 60s. That's right, I'm including myself. Us stingy white men walked on the moon a long time ago, but now we're finally taking the next step for humanity, and we're going to allow a woman and a black man to fly by the moon in 2026. Definitely progression. That's what I call progress, right? 1969, white men walked on the moon, right? 2026, a black guy and a lady are going to get to drive by the moon. Do a flyby. Wow. So wonderful. So happy for all woman and black guy kind that they get to fly by the moon. Imagine that. So if you do believe in space travel, you have to think that they're like a woman and a black guy are going to be on board looking out the window like, look, there it is. There's the moon. This is as close as you're going to get. Whoa. So cool. I'm so glad I got to be the first black guy to see this. I'm so glad I get to be the first woman to be this close to the moon. Oh, how wonderful, right? This is a big achievement for humanity. Imagine you guys, you pack for this trip where your life's going to be in danger. Like you might lose your life on this trip, right? And you're going somewhere where when you finally get there, all you can do is look out the window and then turn around and come back. You're going to risk your life to go look out the fucking window and turn around and come back.
Make sure those are working the way we intend for them to work. After about that 24-hour period, they'll do the burn for the moon. It's called TLI, translunar injection, and that will set them on this free return trajectory for about 9 days. They'll go on the backside of the moon. About 4,000 miles will be the closest approach on that backside, and then come back around and head back to splash down off the coast of San Diego.
Well, we're all hoping it goes off without a hitch. You know, Debbie, I actually had a viewer write me yesterday because I talked to an astronaut on the show yesterday morning. And I had a viewer, John, who wrote me and said, could you ask somebody this question? So I'm going to ask it to you. John asked, it's been more than 50 years since we've landed on the moon. Why is it so difficult to repeat something they accomplished on the first try roughly 60 years ago?
Yeah, dipshits. How come you can't land on the moon?
How would you respond to John?
Yeah.
Here, I'll go ahead and respond on behalf of NASA. I'd go back to the moon in a nanosecond, but we lost and destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back up again. Ta-da! No further explanation needed.
I think, it wasn't obviously the first try. There were a lot of build-up missions as a part of Apollo that took us to Apollo 11. And so, yeah, there was a, different time. We've been spending a lot of time in low Earth orbit learning how to live and work on a space station. And so I think going back, it's just a new focus. We've decided we want to go back and actually go back to stay. And so the Artemis 2 mission and the Orion spacecraft is designed to, 4 crew members.
She just sidestepped the question. She did not fucking answer the question. So a better answer would be to say that we lost and destroyed the technology and it's a painful process to build it back again. That's an actual answer. It may be bullshit, but that's an answer to the question. The question was, how come you can't go back and land on the moon now, basically? And here she is, like, going on and on, sidestepping the question, not actually answering it.
Yeah, I think, it wasn't obviously the first try. There were a lot of build-up missions as a part of Apollo that took us to Apollo 11. And so, yeah, there was a, different time. We've been spending a lot of time in low Earth orbit learning how to live and work on a space station. And so I think going back, it's just a new focus. We've decided we want to go back and actually go back to.
Yeah, I think going back, it's a new focus. And we just decided to go back. Oh, okay. How come you don't go back? Oh, because we decided to go back. Yeah, but how come you haven't gone back like yet all these years? Oh, because it's a new focus and we're planning on going back. See, she's sidestepping the fucking question.
Stayed. So the Artemis 2 mission and the Orion spacecraft is designed to, 4 crew members for up to 21 days, much longer missions, a much larger spacecraft, and things like regenerative power. We've got solar arrays. We have a regenerative ecosystem. So all these advanced systems that we've built into Orion actually allow you to have longer missions that will support the long-term objectives of.
Well, then why aren't you going and landing and staying there for months at a time? Why aren't you building a base on the moon yet, right? All right, Lintaway Air Duct Cleaning, best damn air duct cleaning service this side of the Mississippi. No, he did not pay me to say that. Or did he? Yes, no, or maybe. He says, such a waste of oil, rocket launch to go sideways. We're going to watch the launch next.
NASA, which is to have a permanent presence on the moon and then actually head our way to explore Mars.
We'll see all those advances culminate into tomorrow evening.
All right. So that's the mainstream news report. Now let's go ahead and watch the launch. So this was earlier today. They showed it live. It was at like 3 o'clock. So it happened quite a bit earlier. But we'll go ahead and show you guys the rock side in space. For rodeo. If it's logging, guys, some internet gets throttled. Usually happens when I'm telling too much truth. All right. Looks like it should be working now. All right, we'll go right to the launch. There we go.
10, 9, 8, 7. RS-25 engines lit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis 2 now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
Good roll pitch.
All right, we've all seen rockets take off. So it starts where the rocket goes up. And then, of course, it won't be long before the rocket turns sideways. And then after that, we're going to see a shot, of course, of the rocket heading back down towards Earth. And they tell us that it's going around the Earth to achieve terminal velocity so that it can escape, or It goes around the Earth to achieve escape velocity. That's their claim. But there's always that funny moment where the rocket stops going up, turns sideways, starts coming back down. And then that's the moment when they switch the camera away to like the booster thrusters falling off the back. And then they switch away again. And then they're like, okay, it's in space now. So we know how this goes. We've all seen this many times. It's camera trickery. They cut and switch away over and over. You never actually get to see the rocket pop into outer space, right? You never get to see the rocket go from being in Earth's atmosphere to then being in weightlessness outer space. No, instead you see the rocket go up, leave your view, and start coming back down in the ocean.
Roger, roll pitch.
Houston, now controlling the flight of Integrity on the Artemis 2 mission around the moon.
Integrity, AMT high. AMT high.
On time, passing 30 seconds into the flights. Integrity passes the alternate MECO. Target milestone. Mission Control Houston seeing good performance on the 4 main engines. Space Launch System core stage. Integrity, 3 miles in altitude. Traveling more than 1,200 miles per hour.
Piped in crowd noise. Woo! Go rocket! Woo! Black guy and lady get to fly near the moon. Woo!
Mission elapsed time, passing 1 minute, approaching max Q.
On.
And we officially now have a sideways rocket.
Constantly on. Stan, we have you loud and clear on constantly on.
Now we officially have a rocket heading towards the ground.
Have you the same?
Communication signal transfer confirmed as Integrity and its crew go supersonic.
Yeah, see, they want you to believe that now it's on its way into outer space. Meanwhile, we're looking at a rocket coming back down to Earth, right?
90 seconds into the Artemis 2 mission. Integrity is 14 miles in altitude, 8 miles downrange, traveling more than 2,600 miles per hour. One minute 50 seconds of mission elapsed time, standing by for main engine throttle down to 85%, ahead of solid rocket booster separation expected at.
And even though it's on its way to outer space, the camera can still zoom in and get this perfect shot of it coming back down towards
the 2
Earth.
minute 9 second mark. We see throttle down.
And then they cut away to this, like this is the crowd there watching it. Yeah, sure. Nice B-roll footage that you just stuck in there.
Confirmed separation. Main engines throttling up, guidance converged.
Yourself and see this. Meanwhile, when you look at it from this angle, there's no way you can see people down there. Like, you can't see any people or anything. So they make it look from this angle like it's so far above the Earth. But then when they show the other angles, like all the cameras are able to focus in on it. So this doesn't quite match.
Upper stage RCS ready. Copy all, Stan. Main
to the flight, 5,000 miles per hour.
See, then they cut to the boosters coming off the back, and then they act like it's the same as the shot that they were showing you earlier.
1,000 miles per hour.
Seamless. It all just fits together seamlessly, doesn't it? RY says land on the moon guy talks about recent launch and then pivots to talking about the 49ers. I was watching the recent rocket launch from the Artemis 2, and I was very displeased to find out that they were not going to land on the moon, not gonna land on the moon, not land on the moon, not land on the moon, not land on the moon. They don't take the rover, they don't go to the moon, and then you know that they don't go back soon. They don't rove left, they don't rove right. And of course, you know they do not rove all night. They don't land on the moon, don't land on the moon, don't land on the moon, don't land on the moon. And of course, this next season, the 49er is going to win the Super Bowl, and then they're going to shoot the firework in the air. Is going to be way more impressive than the lackluster Artemis rocket launch when the 49er win the Super Bowl. The celebration is going to be off the hook, my friend. The fireworks is going to be exploding in the sky, making everything beautiful. All right, there you go. There you go.
Standing by for launch abort system jettison.
Houston integrity, good last jettison, great view.
Copy jettison, Team Eco 8+02.
We see the same on board, Stan.
And Houston has you loud and clear on Tigris at the Carmen line.
Outstanding, Stan. We have the same.
3 minutes, 50 seconds into the flight of Artemis 2, Wiseman, Glover, Cook, and Hansen cross the boundary to space with good comm checks. GPS signals acquired after last jettison now working on internal checks to verify accuracy. Flight Dynamics Officer analyzed the time of main engine cutoff, confirmed at 8 minutes, 2 seconds, time of MECO.
All right, now they're just showing some CGI shit, right? That's clearly just some CGI junk that they're showing us. Oh, yeah, man. All those clips are just seamless. For sure, that's all the same rocket and all the same footage happening at all the same place and time. Yeah, okay. Doxological Thinker says, my uncle works for NASA and worked on that rocket for like 10 years. I have a hard time believing he wouldn't know by now, but he seems to believe it. Oh, that's the thing, is they compartmentalize these engineers and stuff. So if somebody works on this equipment here on the ground, they might think that that means for sure it's legitimate and for sure it's going to space. But your uncle isn't there watching this rocket go to outer space. He doesn't get to ride the rocket when it goes to outer space. He doesn't get to witness the rocket actually in outer space. And so all of this stuff, you know, like that they work on, these satellites and supposed space objects that they think are going to go to space, they never get to personally witness that object go to space, right? They might watch a rocket take off and think that, oh yeah, that was the rocket I worked on, or oh yeah, that rocket had the piece of space equipment that I worked on. But they don't actually get to personally be there when the thing that they worked on is in space, right? Functioning. And so, yeah, there's people who work at NASA who are useful idiots who believe every bit of the work that they're doing. Meanwhile, they might just be doing busy work, you know, building a contraption that's never going to actually go to space, right? So, yeah, man, I don't understand how somebody can, you know, grow up to be an adult and work at a space agency and not figure out that all of it's bullshit. But that's how compartmentalization and brainwashing works. You know, you get these useful idiots to be proud of this prestigious job they have, supposedly building this space equipment. And so, yeah, they're going to be proud of the work that they think they've done, and they're not going to think anything of it. All right. Thank you for the super chat, sir. I appreciate it.
Integrity, GPS processing.
Outstanding, Stan. We see the same, and we have a beautiful moonrise. We're headed right at it.
Approaching 5 minutes into the flight, Commander Reed Wiseman confirms he has visuals of his destination. GPS guidance, navigation, and control software finished.
This right here, like, this is just some CGI shit, right? Some low quality, low budget shit that they can just put on screen. Like, oh, all we got to do is put this on screen and we'll make it out like the rocket's so far away from Earth in space that this is the best footage that we got. We'll show them this. They'll think it's real.
His internal checks and sends to navigation channels.
Integrity, 3 engine press.
3 engine press.
On time, now passing 5 minutes, 20 seconds of mission elapsed time into the Artemis 2 mission. At this point, 3 good main engines are all that's needed to carry Integrity to a nominal main engine cutoff target.
And then they cut away to this clip of these people right here.
Though at this time, we're seeing 4 good engines here in Mission Control Houston. Integrity, 75 miles in altitude, 330 miles downrange, approaching 10,000 miles per hour. Shutdown plan to Flight Director Judd Friedling.
And then they switch to the computer graphic here. Once they start showing this stuff, they don't claim that this is real. They'll show this and say that this is a simulation or a simulated computer graphic.
Expected at the 7-minute mark. Integrity, 78 miles in altitude, 460 miles downrange.
Integrity, expect nominal shutdown.
Kind of a slap in the face to call it integrity.
Integrity rocket, almost as good as Tegrity weed. You got to have some real integrity if you're going to lie to millions of people about going to outer space. Hell, they're lying to billions of people because they got real integrity. Them astronauts, they're going to risk their life to fly by the moon because they got integrity.
Big Money Bob gifting 5 Jake the Awake memberships. Thanks, buddy. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Anybody who gets a free membership, thank Big Money Bob.
Integrity copies, nominal shutdown.
Six minutes, 40 seconds of mission elapsed time. Shutdown plan is as expected. Again, the time of Miko was confirmed at 8 minutes, 2 seconds into the flight.
So this is what you get when you watch a rocket launch. Pretty much par for the course. I've seen hundreds of these damn rocket launches, and we've broke down, I don't know, 10, 20 of them here on my channel during live streams. So there's another one added to the list. Oh, so there you have it. There's Artemis. It just took off today, earlier today, heading back to the moon. And when they get there, they're going to turn around and come back. So hopefully those brave astronauts make it home safely. All right. Truth Hurts says Dog and Pony Show is getting tired. Kreger says, love the propaganda words. Beware of them. Inverted all of them. Weetulo says, gaslighting mofos. Yeah, calling the rocket integrity. Definitely some gaslighting for sure. America integrity. Sear says, once back in the 1960s, but fool me again now, and I must be a real zombie moron. So most sheeple who believe in space travel, they don't really pay attention to it. So they don't really like look at it with a skeptical eye. They just don't look at it at all. Like, how many sheeple actually watch that rocket launch? You know what I mean? Probably not that many. Some, but not that many. So people like myself, you know, I look at it with a skeptical eye, and I go into it knowing it's gonna fucking turn sideways and come back down towards Earth, and then they're gonna cut away and show some CGI and some bullshit and then claim it's in space. I already know their routine with these fake rocket launches. But yeah, your average sheeple isn't thinking about it and doesn't care about it, right? Just like your average sheeple doesn't ever take the time to look at this, right? Most sheep don't take the time to look at the lunar module and just take a good gander, because anyone who takes the time just to stare at this one picture, that's all it really takes. This is the 1969 lunar module, supposedly, that landed on the moon. And as you can see, the shadow of the module, the shadow of the module goes all the way to the horizon in the background. Gotta love how the moon horizon in the background always looks like an edge that you can just fall off. Like you can just walk 20, 30 feet to the edge of the moon in the background. But then when you look at the actual module itself, and you see that, like, it appears to be made out of a pile of garbage, essentially. Like, you see curtain rods, black tarps, gold foil, some scotch tape. I mean, if you really zoom in on this thing, it's a joke. It really is. But how many people take the time to analyze this old photo and zoom in? This is all it takes, is just a few minutes to just analyze some of these old photos. And you'll know for a fact that it's impossible that that craft landed on the moon in 1969 and took back off and made it back to Earth, right? That's ridiculous. And now in 2026, the best they can do is fly by. So all it takes is just looking at some of their pictures and videos. And anybody with a working brain should instantly notice it's fake as fuck, right? You got to do some serious mental gymnastics to look at that and be like, oh yeah, that for sure landed on the moon back in 1969. But we lost and destroyed that technology, and the best we can do now in 2026 is just fly by the moon. Right? Thank you very much for the super chat from Sear. I appreciate that, buddy. And got another couple super chats that just came in. Doxological Thinker said, are those people on the grass at the rocket launch or at a golf game? Also, can you do Fittest Flat Earther proving that you are playing Dave Chappelle? So when you know that fallen angels are out there deceiving people, then it's really easy to see through deceivers like this guy right here. This guy, Jake the Awake, he's got the exact same dimples as this guy. Dave Chappelle. Clearly, Dave Chappelle and Jake the Awake, when you combine their faces side by side, you can clearly see the symmetry. Now, I know there's some sheep out there who might think that because Dave Chappelle is black and Jake the Awake is white, that there's no way they can be the same person. That's not how fallen angels work. Fallen angels can shapeshift and they can turn from lighter skin to darker skin very easily. They can change their age, they can change their body shape, and they can even change the shade of their skin. So these fallen angels, they're very tricky. But if you see here, Dave's got this dimple, Jake the Awake's got this dimple.
It's the same dimple because they're shape-shifting vampires.
There you go. I'm Dave Chappelle. I'm Dave Chappelle, bitch! Ha 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 ha. Remember old Dave used to do a bunch of funny voices and stuff and all these different characters? Like on the Dave Chappelle show, Dave would play all these different characters. But now, new Dave Chappelle, current Dave Chappelle, he never plays any of those old characters, never does any of those old voices anymore. Interesting. It's almost like he doesn't have the ability to do any of those funny characters that the real Dave used to do. Lint away, air cleaning said, remember Red Bull fall from space? Oh, yeah, dude. That was back in like 2016, 17. I made a video about that a long time ago. Like every flat earther made a video about the fake Red Bull jump, where the curvature of the earth is super pronounced and it looks like he's standing above the globe. But meanwhile, it's just like a big hunk of brown and like no water. So it's like he's apparently above like New Mexico, but like New Mexico takes up the entire globe down below. Yeah, so the proportions of the ball Earth are extremely off in that photo that shows the curvature, right? Gotta love that when they try and like depict that the ball Earth is down below and they show all this curvature, but there isn't enough room for all the continents and oceans. Yeah. That's an old school video. All the flat earther channels debunked that one a long time ago. Even debunked that video. Yeah, there's other video clips of the same jump that show a flat horizon. So you can actually watch different videos of the same jump, and some of the clips show a flat horizon. Like when he opens up the door, there's a flat horizon, but then when he gets out, then it's curved. Yeah. True Metal Jake said, great show, Jake. Thanks for unbanning me. Glad to see you, brother. And so, yeah, there's hundreds of people who I have banned, and for good reason. And when I go through and I have to unban somebody, I can't just type in True Metal Jake and find you. I have to sift through all the names, and they're not in alphabetical order. So there's just like 500 random banned people, and I had to fucking sift through to find you. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a pain in the ass. But after like, I don't know, only like a minute or two of searching, like within like the first, I don't know, 100 names I read through, I found you, unbanned you. So you're back. But yeah, typically to go find somebody out of the pile of banned users, it's a pain in the ass. But you made it back, buddy. Sorry for the mistake ban. Accidents happen. Welcome back, sir. And thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. True Metal Jake. All right. It looks like I'm getting all pixelated and glitchy, which sucks. All right. All right. Let me see. I think I might have one more video left for you guys. If not, then we can go ahead and just wrap it up. In fact, that was it. I showed you guys all I wanted to show you guys. That's right. We made it through everything. All right. OJ and Toothpaste said, what's the worst one night stand with a girl you had? Well, I could come up with two different worsts. One time I had a really good hookup with a chick, but then she ghosted me. And that sucked. It sucks when you hook up with a good-looking woman and you dig it, and then you want to do that again and again and again, and then you hit them up, no answer. Hit them up again, no answer. And then you come to the realization, like, she used me, right? So it sucks to like finally hook up with someone that like you're like, yeah, that was fun. Definitely want to do more of that, and then they ghost you. That sucked. That happened once. But the worst one, one time on New Year's Eve, I was at a party, a friend of mine's party, doing karaoke, and it was at the end of the night, and there was kind of a big girl at the party, and I didn't feel like being alone on New Year's night, so I invited this big girl to come stay the night, and she laid there, and I tried to, get in the right mind frame so I could have my way and do my thing, but she just like wasn't helping at all, wasn't offering any assistance. She just wanted to lay there and let me do all the work, except she wasn't like somebody I was real excited to bone. So it was like, oh, now I have to go through with this, and she expects me to to do something, and now I'm not really into it. So yeah, I had to like try and force myself to bone a big girl who I wasn't into really at all. Good times. But that was back in my younger days. That's many years ago. Nothing like that happens anymore. I don't have any woman problems anymore because I just rarely ever hang out with any women. I'm always here in the fucking office. The older I get and the more time I spend in this office, the less women problems I have. That's one good thing about focusing on making content and not being on the dating apps and stuff, is I don't have any woman problems. The bad news is I'm a total loner. OJ and Toothpaste said, have you ever been catfished? Oh, of course. Of course. One time, this guy was using his wife's profile, and his wife is good looking, and he was using his wife's profile to flirt with me. So there was a guy flirting with me using his wife's profile. And here's the fucking crazy part. His wife found out about it and texted me and called me, wanted to talk to me about something. And she admitted that her husband was using her profile to flirt with me. So his wife caught him and confronted him. And he was like, big deal. Who cares? I was just screwing around. So he played it off to her like it was no big deal, that he was just screwing around. But she was like pretty upset that he used her profile to try and flirt with me. And so then the crazy thing was, then she actually did start flirting with me. Like we were actually talking on the phone, but the conversation started by her telling me that her husband used her profile to flirt with me. So weird. So yeah, I've had some really weird shit happen being a YouTuber. And then there was another time where I caught on that somebody I think was trying to play me, but I caught on to it. Like there was one time this younger girl was wanting to text, but she didn't want to talk on the phone. She's like, oh, I'm shy. I just want to text. But she wouldn't talk to me on the phone or do a video call. And so that's when I was like, look, If you don't talk to me on the phone and verify that you're a female or do a video call, then I'm going to guess that you're a guy. And then I never heard back, right? So I think somebody tried to catfish me, but I caught on. Yep. But nobody has ever successfully, like, you know, catfished me and got me to, like, send money or, you know, like, think that I've met, you know, the person of my dreams or nothing like that. Not like that stuff you see on TV. There you go. See, I'm not embarrassed to answer personal questions. There's another proof that I'm a legit dude. Go ask Russian Vids about his personal life and see if he fucking answers. A guy like Russian Vids won't show his face, won't give his name, uses Rowdy Roddy Piper's image as his own. You don't know nothing about his personal life. Meanwhile, I show my face, give my real name, and then I'm honest to a point where I don't even need to be. Like, I don't even need to be as honest as I am with you guys, but I'm super blunt and transparent and open. And so this is what a real guy looks and fucking sounds like. So anytime you see some shill who won't even give you their name or show their face and they want to talk some trash about me, just remember who's the real guy and who's too chicken shit to even show their face. OJ and Toothpaste says, did you see RV Truth calling out Richie, his latest video? He used to do live streams with him, but he said, I played dumb. Look it up. Yeah, I saw that. So he likes to turn on people who he was once cool with. And that's kind of like a shill routine, is to have like fake dramas and fake beefs with other shills. But when it comes to me, he calls me fake Jake and he lies about me. So RV tells his audience that the sun shrinks into a dot. And so all I do is disagree and say, hey, I've never seen the sun shrink into a dot with my own two eyes. I see the sun when it sets get bigger as it approaches the horizon, and then it appears to go into the earth. That's what you see. So let's be honest. You see the sun get bigger as it sets and appear to go into the earth. But he'll say, RV will claim, you're lying. You're trying to keep people from discovering God's flat earth. Everybody knows that the sun shrinks, and this proves the biblical flat earth model. And Jake the fake is trying to keep you from God's created flat earth. He's trying to make the flat earth look stupid. It's just ridiculous. So RV's claim is, I'm here to make the flat earth look ridiculous by claiming that the sun gets bigger and appears to go into the earth, even though that's exactly what the fuck everybody sees happen. So his claim is that the sun travels away from you and gets smaller, and he's got a video to show this, but nobody's ever seen that in real life. So his audience will go along with a provable lie. Like, he's obviously lying. The sun doesn't shrink into a dot. That's ridiculous. But he'll say, I'm here to keep you from God's created flat earth by lying about the sun not shrinking into a dot. So I find it to be just so ridiculous that I even have to make a debunk video. Like, I've made a debunk video showing that the sun doesn't shrink into a dot. Anybody with a working brain should know the sun doesn't shrink into a dot. But he'll straight up tell his audience, the sun shrinks into a dot, and this, of course, is proven, and Jake the Awake's trying to keep you from discovering the biblical truth of the flat earth, right? So these shills can just blatantly lie, right? Like, tell like a ridiculous lie that you can prove wrong in a second, and their audience will just eat it up, right? So Fittest Flat Earther's got tons of people who eat up his lies. RV's got thousands of people who still eat up his lies. Now, I know that they have sock accounts and bot accounts that pretend to be supporters of theirs, but there's also a bunch of useful idiots who they've got brainwashed and duped into believing their bullshit. And they'll come here and say that I'm the liar. So you guys can imagine how frustrating it gets to be the real guy who tells the real truth, yet I get called Jake the Awake. I get referred to as the one trying to keep you from God's created flat earth by telling you that the sun doesn't shrink into a dot. I got a super chat from Kevin Arnold from the Wonder Years. What would you do if Kevin Arnold sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on Kevin Arnold? Winnie Cooper lived right across the street, and she would cheat on Kevin with other guys, yeah. Oh, have a little help from our friends. Kevin Arnold from Wonder Years. Have a little help from our friends. Just send me a freaking super sticker. All right, there you go. Kevin Arnold from the Wonder Years hooking it up with a super sticker. OJ and Toothpaste says RV is a liar. He thinks he's so tough. He's just a puss. Well, check it out. It's a gigantic red flag if a man won't show his face, won't give his name, right? So any supposed truth teller who you don't know what they look like, you don't know what their name is, that means they're purposely hiding their image from you. Not only that, what man do you know steals a professional wrestler's face and image and uses it as his own all the time? RV, Russian Vids, They Live Truth, uses Rowdy Roddy Piper's face and image as his own profile picture. He sells mugs and t-shirts with Rowdy Roddy Piper's face on it as if it's his own. What man who claims to be a Christian, claims to be a man of God and a truther, can steal another man's face and sell another man's face as his own? Rowdy Roddy Piper is not the same guy as They Live Truth Russian Vids. Yet Russian Vids has no problem stealing his face and image. Like, how would you guys feel if I just started using Stone Cold Steve Austin's face as my face? Like, from now on, I just stopped using my face and I changed my profile picture to Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then every single video, I end it with a clip of Stone Cold Steve Austin saying, "That's the bottom line, because Jake the Awake said so," right? And then I start every one of my fucking videos with the Stone Cold Steve Austin theme, right? Wouldn't you guys be like, "Hey, Jake, you're not Stone Cold Steve Austin, so why in the fuck are you using another man's image," right? I would hope that you guys would call me out if I just started using another man's image permanently as my own, right? But he does, and his fans are cool with that. Oh, well, Jake, he's such a truther that he doesn't want to give his name or show his face because he tells too much truth, and the Illuminati might try and kill him if he shows his face and gives his name. Oh, yeah? I tell way more truth than that son of a bitch, and I do give my face and show my name. Right? I ain't too chicken shit. But no, he turns it around. Jake's a fake. Jake's trying to keep you from God's flat earth. Gonna call me Jake the Fake while he steals Rowdy Roddy Piper's image. Yeah, anybody who supports Fittest Flat Earther or They Live Truth Russian Vids, you can go suck a big fat donkey dick. Any of you who are like, "Oh, I like Jake and I like RV," go suck a fat donkey dick. "I like Jake and I like Fittest Flat Earther." Fuck off for life. If you like those two guys at all, go fuck off to their channel. That's right. If you watch my content, you shouldn't like those guys at all. After all I've pointed out about these fucking dirtbag lying shills, you should hate those guys. You should totally agree with me. So anybody out there like, I don't understand why Jake's fighting with these other truthers. I like RV and Jake. They're both... No, you're not allowed to like us both unless you're a fucktard. And if you are a fucktard, then get lost. I don't care who doesn't like it. Comparing me to either of those guys is like comparing filet mignon to Skittles covered in diarrhea. Do you think filet mignon tastes just the same as Skittles covered in diarrhea? Well, then don't fucking compare me to shills who are essentially Skittles covered in diarrhea. Oh, another thing I won't put up with. Jake and Tyler are on the same team and they're having a fake drama. Fuck off with that shit. You know how many shills I see try and push the notion that Tyler and Jake are both shills, trying to distract you from the truth, right? That's how they can try and make it look like I'm on the same team with that guy. Oh, show up to my channel and flood the comment section saying Jake and Tyler are both putting on an act on the same team. Yeah, people said the same thing about me and Jaron. And then what happened? I proved he was a fucking shill. So I called out Jaron for years, Jaronism. And I said he was a shill. And people are like, don't go after other truthers. Don't go after fellow flat earthers. You're hurting our truth community. And then he turned out to be a fucking shill just like I said he was. And he flipped on the flat earth, flipped on the moon landing. And I was proven right and vindicated for what I said. But if you go back to 2017 and 18, people would tell me by the thousands, quit talking about Jaron, quit going after other flat earthers. Just quit causing trouble in the truth community, right? Try to keep me from calling out these fucking shills. Davey D from the LaFleur Network said, thanks, Jake, for the stream. Also, blasting this shill. Much love. Chat peeps. And join me Sunday at the LaFleur Network for Lair of LaFleur. Yeah, check out Davey D. He also makes content as well. So go check out his channel. See what you think. He's right here. Shady Davey D from the LaFleur Network. Thank you for the super chat donation, brother. I appreciate it. And looks like I had another couple super chats come in. Then we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. So I'm getting tired now. RY says, I love your RV impersonation. Jake the fake. He's a fake flat earther. And he thinks that the sun gets bigger as it sets into the horizon because that's what everybody sees with their own two eyes. But that's absolutely ridiculous. I have a video that shows the sun shrinks into a dot, even though no one's ever seen that with their own two eyes in person. This proves the earth is biblical. OJ and Toothpaste says, but it's 33 RV truth. Laughed my ass off, dumbass. Yeah. He points at a 33 here and there, and his audience thinks that he's some sort of hardcore truther. That's about the best you'll get out of him. Is like, like if there's a scripted shooting that goes down, he'll show the mention of the 33. People will be like, oh, great breakdown, RV. RY says, a Google search shows that the sun getting bigger as it sets is just some sort of psychological or psychological phenomenon. I guess I'm not supposed to believe my eyes. So here's the thing. Earth is not a globe, but a lot of the flat earth information that was put out in 2015, 16 about a sun and a moon circling is wrong. And so these guys continue to push the wrong information with a sun and moon circling, and they have to lie and tell you that the sun goes away from you and it doesn't set, because they were told that if they're going to pretend to be a flat earther, they have to push the notion that the sun never sets, it just goes away from you. And so they have to push the lie that the sun shrinks as it goes away from you. Yeah, well, here's the deal. The earth isn't a globe. It is flat, but that doesn't mean that the sun and moon go in a circle. In fact, they provably don't do that. And furthermore, the sun gets bigger as it appears to go into the earth. So if we look at what's happening, we see the sun, as it gets closer to the horizon, get bigger and turn orange and appear to go into the horizon. That's what it appears to do. So Earth, not a globe. Sun does rise and does set. Definitely does not shrink into a dot. That's what we see happen. So why lie to yourself and say, oh, the sun never sets and it shrinks into a dot, if that clearly is not the case? So there was a lot of false information injected by Eric Dubay, David Weiss, and other shills early on. And people still present this false information that the sun and the moon just go in a circle. And that's provably wrong. All you got to do is look into the sunrise angles and sunset angles throughout the year in different locations, and you will see it is impossible for one sun and one moon to just go in a circle. And furthermore, the fact that you see the sun get bigger as it goes towards the horizon and turn orange, it's definitely not shrinking into a dot. So you have liars pushing wrong information, and they call themselves flat earthers and Christians. So essentially they're fake flat earthers and fake Christians, duping people into believing a debunkable cosmology, so that if you go spouting off that the earth isn't a globe, and then you start talking about the sun and moon going in a circle, and that proves that the biblical flat earth model is true, well, then you're repeating wrong information, and you can be easily debunked and discredited, which is exactly their job as shills, to produce a bunch of false information. They give you the nugget of truth that the earth isn't a globe, but then they give you the wrong model, and then they attach it to Christianity and the Bible. OJ and Toothpaste says, I want a good Those Were the Days remix Jake style. Those Were the Days remix Jake style. Yeah, like the way Glenn Miller played songs that made the hit parade. Guys like us, they had it made. Those were the days. And you knew where you were then. Girls were girls and men were men. Mister, we could use a man like Herbert Hoover again. Didn't need no welfare stakes. Everybody pulled his weight. GRO LaSalle ran great. Those were the days. There you go. What a stupid remix. I like the original version better. I think my remix is shitty. I'd rather perform the original. Cats Incredulous says, Wanda Sykes and Roseanne walking in on Fittest Flat Earther and discovering he has a micro penis and shaming him.
Yo, I just had the unfortunate experience of walking in on a really fucking ugly white man. He was beating off on his little tiny micro penis, and my girl Roseanne was there. She saw the whole thing. Yeah, it was really gross, you know. This freaking shapeshifter, I think he's a fucking commie, you know. He whipped out his little micro penis and he started to masturbate. He was staring at my boobs, you know. He was staring at my ass, and he was staring at Roseanne boobs, and he was starting to beat off his little micro penis, and then he started shooting little sperms everywhere. Like, nobody want your sperm. Nobody wants you whacking off thinking of my black ass just because I got a big
bodacious, beautiful black ass. And just because Roseanne have beautiful perky titties does not mean we want to see your macro penis. Put your little macro penis away and get the fuck up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Nobody got time for that.
Yeah, you know, maybe you should go fucking hang out with some commies over there in fucking commie California if you want to beat off your little micro penis, you know.
There you go. That's how that happened. Yeah, go ask another YouTuber to do that impression. I bet you they won't do half as good a job as me. Nobody does Wanda Sykes and Roseanne talking about Fittest Flat Earther's micro penis as good as me. Nobody. OJ and Toothpaste says, original, those were the days, screaming at the end. Like the way Glenn Miller played
songs that made the hit parade.
Guys like us, they had it made.
Those were the days, and you knew when you were then.
Girls were girls and men were men.
Mr. We could use a man like Herbert Hoover again.
Didn't need no welfare stakes.
Everybody pulled his weight. GROR sour and great. Those were the days.
Holy shit. All right, guys. I'm getting tired, and my puppy wants to go out on a walk. He's probably hungry. He wants to go outside and go pee-pees and poop-poos. Pee-pee. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. You guys, I had so much fun tonight. We had so many super chats come in. I'm overwhelmed by the support that we got tonight. I really am. This might have been one of the most super chat heavy streams that I have ever done. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for hooking me up with all the donations tonight and all of the messages that I wasn't able to read live. I'm going to go back and watch the replay, and I will read everyone's message. So I will see who was here. I will see who said what. So if I didn't get to your message, just know I'm going to read it later on tonight when I watch the replay. So thank you guys for hanging out with me on another wacky, wild, Wake 'em Up Wednesday. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. Before you go, do your boy a solid and hit the thumbs up. If you're still watching right here, right now, take a quick second, hit the thumbs up. We put in almost 3 hours tonight. Full-blown truth and comedy special. We roasted the Fittest Flat Earther, and we broke down the Artemis 2 rocket launch. Whole lot of fun. So hit the thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video or the next live stream. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you all for watching. I love you guys. Thank you for supporting real comedy and real truth. So until next time, this is your favorite comedian and content creator and mine saying bye-bye, peace out, much love. I'll see you next time.